Hello and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E. My naughty director, he was a little minx. He said, camera 5, and that's over there. It's me, myself, and I tonight. So I know a few of you, just thought to yourself, well, there's Rob Lock with an E, where's everybody else? Well, sorry, it's just me tonight. So don't blink 182 times because you'll miss the incredible items that we have coming up for you in this show. And one of them is my favourite product of all time. It's really good. That was very deadpan, terrible though it may have been. But this is the Optimus 3 modular steam cleaning system from Home Tech. It's essentially a steam mop, but it's a steam mop that works. It works, ladies and gentlemen. Can I just confess something? Because I'm here on my own tonight, we're playing what's called the word game, which is where everybody gives me a word that I have to say and sneak into my patter. And if you want to play along, then email the word you want me to say surreptitiously in my patter to studio@shopontv.co.uk. But I tell you, I've already done the first two that they gave me and they didn't even notice. Oh, no, Gemma, our producer, did notice, but the second one, they didn't notice. Well, Gemma did, but Kieran, who gave me the word, didn't notice. I had to slip in the word Pantera, and I did that voice, and I said that was very deadpan, terrible though it might have been. You see? Oh, he did get it, apparently. He just wasn't very impressed. Anyway, here's a bit of video that shows you what an amazing mop this is. Honestly, seriously, patented technology to steam clean that not only is going to clean, actually, it's also going to what's it going to do? It's going to sanitize your floors and your surfaces as well without any chemicals required whatsoever. Just the power of dihydrogen monoxide, which is H2O, water. See what I did there? So you fill it up and you turn it on, you wait for it to heat up, and then you can not only steam your surfaces to an almost completely dry state, but the steam, which is superheated dry steam, over 100 degrees, in fact nearing 120 degrees, will kill up to 99.9% of germs, bacteria, viruses, and all those sorts of nasties. And it does it almost instantly. And it also is superb at breaking down things like fat and grease and oil. Now, if you had a regular mop, for example, those are the old Dominion. The new Dominion is the electrification of the old mop, and that's what this is, using the power of steam. If you can move a train, you can move a stain with steam. That's what steam does, doesn't it? It has tremendous power to it, but it also has the ability to save you a ton of money. Who'd have thunk? Because now you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on all those chemicals that you put under your sink or in a cupboard somewhere under the stairs, I don't know, wherever you keep them, because this can potentially replace the lot. Now, it is a complete modular system. You get two heads. Two heads are better than one, apparently. And so you get the rectangular head and you get the triangular head. You can use it on your carpets, you can use it on any sealed wood floor and any other type of surface. Great outdoors, great indoors as well. And basically there will be another head available soon. I don't know how soon is, but there's going to be a polishing head. Although you could go and buy a little bottle of furniture wax or floor wax, put a couple of drops on the bottom of your steam mop and actually wax your floor at the same time as cleaning it. There are 3 different modes which I'll talk you through in a moment, and you get all of the accessories, which does make this a complete bundle, as they used to say in the old days, the whole kit and caboodle. And it's still half price. Normally, the rectangular head was separate we've included it in the bundle, and we have slashed the price. That's what we're all about here at ShopOnTV, bringing you the best prices that we possibly can, the best products that we possibly can. And I know we've featured this fairly regularly, but there's a point, because every time we put it on the air, hundreds of people, thousands of people in some cases buy it, because it is just that good. And here's why. There are two patented systems. I'll give you a little tour, shall I? Now you've seen it sort of in action. This is the unit. I'm going to call him Fred. Hello, Fred. Evening, Rob. So it has a very, very long cord. It's about 5 meters. So you can get from A to B very easily without having to plug and replug. You can store the cable on this handy little cable tidy back there. But then here's where the clever stuff begins. On the side, you have a water tank. Now you do get a little filler bottle that will allow you to, straight from the tap, you don't have to use any special ionized water or what have you. What do they call it? Not evaporated water. The one where no, the water where they've evaporated it and then cooled it down again. That's a process. It is purified, but it's called something. Anyway. But you put just distilled water, thank you very much. You don't need distilled water. You can just put regular old tap water straight out your tap, even if you're in a really hard water area, just like me. And that goes in there and you close it up, bish bash bosh, like that. Then you turn it on. One finger operation. At the top there is an on-off button. You'll know when it's on because it's a little LED button, so when it's red it's on, and when it's not on, it's off. Pretty obvious. I'll tell you these buttons in a minute. Now, when you pull the trigger, there's a trigger out the back, that does two things. First and foremost, it draws water out of the tank and it goes around the handle, and then it goes through this patented cartridge system at the top, which filters the water, removes impurities and limescale and things like that, and that's what protects the boiler. Right, so you're going to see this little animation here of exactly how that works. It's obviously adjustable too, but here is the water going into the tank. Once activated, that is then drawn out of the tank through the filter. That is a replaceable filter. You do get a filter included. You can buy additional ones online if you want at shopontv.co.uk. And then that water is shot down into the second patented system, which is the head. The tank is in the head. Sorry, no it isn't. The boiler is in the head. That's why the boiler is as close to the floor as you can possibly get it, really. And that's why it took years and years to develop this, but also why it's patented, because as far as we're aware, no one, well, it's got a patent, so that would therefore preclude any other steam mop from having the ability to do exactly this. And by having the boiler right at the floor, that means you get that superheated dry steam. It heats up to 120 degrees, and it's hitting the floor at just over, between 100 and 120 degrees. And that is what is enough to actively kill the 99.9% of germs, bacteria, viruses, and things like that. So you'll know when it's on because a light will come on. It takes about 20 seconds roughly to heat up. I'll show you, shall I? You have, when I put this over onto the floor, you have a super maneuverable, multi-directional head, so you can get all over and under and around. The great thing about the triangular head is that it fits up to all your edges. You see, it moves with your edges like that, which is great. Now you've got an aluminium extension pole which is removable, so you can use this in handheld mode as well. That's that there. I'll show you how to do it. It's very easy. It's a little button you press and you twist it and off it comes. And when you press the trigger, let me just see what mode I've got this in here. Okay, I am in turbo, I think. And once, now you see, did you see the green lights come on? That is now steaming. Now you never ever get less temperature. You only get less production of steam depending on whether you use eco mode, normal or turbo. Again, I'll cover that in a minute. And so as soon as you put the mop over the dirt, look, it's gone. Just like that. Judas Priest, that's good, isn't it? Wow! You see? So good. I got steam. Look, can I be honest with you? Because I've been lying up till now. No, I haven't. Why do people say that? Can I be honest with you? What, you've been telling me porkies up till now, have you? In all earnest, It's blooming good, this thing. It really is. You know, it just does what it needs to do. And the thing is that that little bit of floor I just went over with that mop, in those few seconds, that has now been sanitized. So instead of a mop and bucket and pouring in disinfectant, chemicals often leave a sticky residue as well, which then attracts more dirt and a smell. And also, how do you know that they've done the job? With this, you get real peace of mind. As soon as I go over this floor, I know that within seconds, I mean, think of it like this, if you will. If I boiled a kettle and kept it boiling and asked you to hold your hand, please don't do this, over the kettle while the steam was coming out. Now, many of you will say, oh, I know what that's like because I've already done that by accident and it's very painful. Steam burns are so much worse than hot water burns, aren't they? They feel like it anyway. And that's the power of steam. So that's what's happening here. Essentially, you've got a boiling kettle in the head of the mop, which is heating that up to 120 degrees of steam, and then it's under pressure, it's pushing it out onto the floor. Any germ, any microbe, any spore, any virus, the minute it comes into contact with that superheated dry steam, it's dead. I mean, you know, you can imagine, right? It's carnage. But also, have you noticed the floor is almost completely dry. Okay, so this is the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Here's the way not to do it. And this is why, and if you've heard of steam mops before and seen steam mops before, or maybe people have told you about steam mops before, or maybe you've gone onto Amazon and read reviews on steam mops before, here's why a lot of them, if not most of them, are absolute garbage in the opinions of the people leaving the reviews. It's because if you don't have a patent to put the boiler in the end, then a lot of those steam mops would have a boiler up top here, which seems sensible. The trouble is that they heat the water up into steam, and then it goes down a metal pole or even a plastic pole. By the time it gets to the business end, it's maybe 50, 60 degrees. The steam is not hot enough to kill anything. It might just be enough to give you a nice sort of facial rejuvenation, but it's not hot enough to kill germs. And also, of course, you get condensation in the tube. So you get dribbles of water on the floor. It wets the floor. And isn't that the biggest complaint that most people have made about steam mops in the past? Well, they make my floor wet, and they don't really do very much. This has two patented systems. It has the filter, which means that even in very hard limescale areas, you're not going to get limescale build-up in your boiler, which is what kills boilers, basically. And this is removable. There's a nut on the back. Very easy to take off. You even get a little plastic tool that does that, and then you remove it, you put the next one in. You'll know when it's time to change it because it will go a dark colour. Now, it's hard to really estimate exactly how long these will last because it depends entirely on, you know, where you live, what your water is like and how frequently you use the mop. But we say as a guide that if you were in, you know, the sort of the worst part of London where like my water is so hard it comes out in cubes, probably about 6 months. Now, if you're somewhere where it's very soft water, it could be a year or more. They're very affordable. In fact, I don't know if we could even put them on the screen, possibly down the bottom, what the refills cost. $13.95. You might want to get one while you pop this in your basket. If you haven't got this yet, let's have a little think, shall we? Maybe, I'll tell you what, just to save me from sort of what I'm demonstrating and talking, because I don't have a huge number of demonstrations here, would we be able to run that little video again that shows all of this in operation? Because I want you to do me a little favour. We'll show you this first, which again is showing you the patented technology. I want you to think about how much money you spend on chemicals. Bathroom cleaner, kitchen cleaner, floor cleaner, tile cleaner, what else? Cream cleaner, stainless steel, hard floor cleaner. I mean, let's name some more chemicals, shall we? What other kind of cleaning chemicals are there? Oh, there's window cleaner. We've done, yeah, window cleaner, or glass cleaner. Drain cleaner, yes. Now, All right, I don't know if you could use this to clean your drain. I don't know how you do that. But all right, so that we found the one maybe that you still have to buy. Unless you buy, no, it's fine. No need to apologise. I should have thought about it before I said it. But everything that is a surface that you spray something, or maybe you spend a fortune on disinfecting wipes, well, now you don't have to ever spend money on those again. Quite simply, the steam will not only do an equivalent job, but it probably will do an even better job. You know, once you've run this over your floor or your kitchen cabinet or your countertop or around your bathtub or up and down the tiles in the bathroom, you know, you have the peace of mind of knowing that those germs are dead. 99.9% of them anyway. No sticky residue, no foul odour. If you've got kids in the family or babies, even toddlers who are crawling around and then putting their hands in their mouths, you have peace of mind of knowing that you have a sanitised area whenever you've used this mop. And it's lightweight, it's portable, it's easy, it's a couple of kilos even when it's got water in it. You know, it's something you can whip out. And the 3 modes I neglected to mention, I'll tell you. The eco mode just produces less steam, still the same temperature. It's always that germ killing temperature. And the microfiber cloths, by the way, and you get 4 of them in total, 2 triangular and 2 rectangular. You just throw them in the microwave. And so the eco mode is just for, so did I say microwave? No, don't throw them in the microwave. It's been a long week. Throw them in the washing machine. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise. Brain fart. I mean, you can throw them in the microwave if you want, but they won't get very clean. No, throw them in the washing machine. So the eco mode is, if you haven't really got a lot of dirt on the floor, you just want a little spruce up. You just want a little disinfect. And I never know with a bucket and mop how much disinfectant to use, do you? And I always end up just using half the bottle. And also, the fact is that with a mop, and it is true, that the minute you put a clean mop head on the floor and move it around a little bit, you pick up the dirt from the floor. That mop head's now dirty. You're now moving that dirt and the germs that the disinfectant hasn't killed all around the floor wherever you put the mop. And then you put it into the water and you swish it around to rinse it off. And now you've got germy, dirty water as well. Look, that was the way it used to be done. This is the way that it's done today. And honestly and truly, it's so well made, this. It's almost over-engineered. I honestly cannot wait to get my hands on one. Wonderful for the, which one am I on? 6, there we are. Wonderful for the bathroom, particularly, you know, if you've got animals or pets who maybe have a little piddle. This will not only clean the mess, but it will sanitize it as well. Odours are caused by bacteria, so it will also destroy odours. So that, and you know, it's not just animals that have little accidents. Sometimes it's kids. Sometimes even grown men after a night on the town don't have the best aim. So this, again, this is wonderful for cleaning under the toilet and knowing you're killing all of those germs. They are just phenomenal, these mops. They honestly, and I can't even call it a mop again because it is a complete modular home steaming system. By the way, you've also got normal mode. So if you've got regular dirt, you know, or a stain or a patch of something that's dirty, use normal mode. If you could use it on your carpets, and you get a carpet glider attachment which allows the cloths to glide over the carpets without wrinkling up. So it'll actually bring the pile back to life. It will reinvigorate the fibres. It will make your carpets and your rugs look really, really great, and it will also clean them as well, of course, and sanitize them too. So that I would use the turbo mode on, and obviously anyway you've got really, really tough dirt, use turbo mode as well. The whole system's $99.99. You get so much for your money. It's an absolute steal of a bargain. If you haven't got it yet, it's Rob Lock's #1 recommendation for ways to clean your floor. And I will just say, I know I'm sitting here with pillows and storage boxes, but just before I move on from the home tech, I will say this, and I do honestly mean this. If you fancy a challenge, if you can be faffed, and I know it's early in the morning, go to your kitchen cupboard or wherever your chemicals are kept and pick any one you like, but as long as it's one that's supposed to kill germs, because not all of them do, you know. One that says that it kills bacteria. You know, there are lots of bottles that we buy that say 99.9% of bacteria and germs and viruses too, right? So if you've got one of those, get the bottle and read the instructions on the back. And if anyone wants to do this, and then email me, studio@shopontv.co.uk while we're live, and tell me how long it recommends you leave the solution on the surface before you wipe it off. Because I guarantee you it will be a lot longer than anybody thought or anybody would think. So I hate to break it to you folks, the chemicals you've been spending hundreds of pounds on every year, depending on the size of the household, I believe the average is 350 to 400 pounds a year, and you may very well have been wasting them because you think that you've sanitised and you haven't. And in fact, Charlie's having a little look. Is that a disinfecting bottle over there? Does it say on the back? 5. May I borrow it? Oh, I guess we can't. Well, is it Greeked? Greeked, by the way, Greeked is a term we use in the movie industry when you have brand names and things, and they have to be covered up because you don't have permission to have it if they're, then if they're not being used for product placement and such. So, and it comes from the expression "it's all Greek to me," so that's why we call it Greeking in the movie business. So this is. Again, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not dissing this whatsoever. It's multi-purpose cleaner, kills 99.9% of bacteria and COVID-19 virus. We probably won't be able to see it close up. Oh, do you know what? I haven't got any glasses and I can't even read it. Can you read it for me, Charlie? Would you mind? Sorry.
Turn the nozzle to on position, keeping the bottle upright to spray 20 to 25 centimetres away. Leave for up to 5 minutes, wipe clean, then rinse. Always test.
Did you say 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
And that's on a regular multi-purpose antibacterial spray?
Yeah.
Thank you. 5 minutes! Who has ever sprayed a multi-purpose cleaner on their surface and left it for 5 minutes? Unless you forgot. Have you? And that's a main brand. Now again, I'm not saying that's bad. That's how that works. If you haven't left it there for 5 minutes, it hasn't killed, and all throughout COVID, people were using that and going sprit, 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 wipe. Hey, no COVID. Do you see what I mean? Go have a look. It will shock you within an inch of your life. And again, not to say these things are bad, but the steam, almost instantaneously. If you had a germ, oh, steam, no, That's how that works. Now, here we have a wonderful, wonderful sleep aid. Another bestseller. This is a night of bestsellers. This is now, I don't know if you look closely, you might be able to tell what it is. This is a pillow. Sorry, that reminds me of Rob Brydon. He's so good at doing that, that kind of almost like teacher, authority figure type of speak. So this is the Mirel pillow. You're getting 2 pillows for $34.95. And I absolutely love this pillow because it has, I think, the cleverest technology, yes, I said it, technology, that's ever been used in a pillow. And in fact, I think it's possibly the only pillow that's got any technology in it. Now, I'm not talking about, sort of cogs and wheels and things like that, I'm talking about the most basic technology, I think, really, that is known to modern engineering, and that is support. If you go back to the days of Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and even his dad was a famous engineer as well, and Robert Louis Stevenson and all these pioneers of engineering, when they were building bridges and modern buildings and things like that, probably one of the greatest breakthroughs that was ever made was suspension technology. And that technology literally supports our entire, or a very great deal of our entire eco-structure. Is that the right word? Or certainly structure. You know what I mean? And if it's good enough for a big suspension bridge, it's good enough for a pillow. And that's what this is. It's literally a similar kind of technology. Inside the pillow are these 2 big suspension ties, and they are joined to the middle, the center of the pillow, and they're slightly shorter than the width of the pillow itself. So that means that whenever you lay your head on the pillow can only compress to a certain degree, and then once you remove your head, it will go back to its original shape. And that, I mean, you cannot push this completely flat. Now, there are two different options available. There is medium soft and there is medium firm. And the only difference is that the amount of filling. The medium firm has slightly more filling inside. Otherwise, they are completely identical. And you get two of these for $34.95. So what this means is you have really the ideal support for your head, for your neck, for the correct spinal alignment while you are sleeping, so you don't wake up with a crick neck or an achy back, and also for your what's it called, esophagus, you know, or your sarcophagus, whatever. It's one of those. It's your esophagus. I hope you haven't got a sarcophagus in your throat, unless it was a very, very tiny Egyptian king. And it was a sweet that you were supposed to eat. Anyway, so the great part about this pillow is that it's all about support and also breathability. So the Morel, you may have heard of GX pillows, and the GX suspension pillow was the first version really of this. Now, Morel is slightly different in two ways. First of all, Morel is a rebrand specifically for ShopOnTV. You can't buy Morel anywhere else. I mean, it doesn't matter what part of the country that you go to. It could be Manchester, it could be Edinburgh, it could be Lincoln Park or Street, or wherever you happen to be. And you're going to be able to enjoy this amazing. See, I did the word game there. No, and that's so much so I forgot what I was actually saying before the word game. So if you've just tuned in, we're playing a word game where the director and the producer and the floor manager, they give me words I have to sneak into my patter. Lincoln Park was that one. If you'd like to join in, then just email studio@shopontv.co.uk. But I was in the middle of making a point, and then I deviated, and then after I was so proud of myself for getting the word in, or words, I forgot what I was saying. So anyway, no, in all seriousness, that's right. This is the original. That's right. The Morel is the exclusive version, and the other difference is that this has a fully breathable cover. The GX had a cotton cover which had like a little air mesh side to allow breathability. The whole of the pillowcase is completely breathable, and you do get a twin pack of these. They really are the Aero Smiths of pillows, if you want to think of it that way. 385-857. I wasn't so happy. That was obviously supposed to be Aerosmith. I wasn't so happy with that one. I mean, I had the Aero I could get with the breathability of the pillow, but it's how to transition to Smith afterwards. So that's all the other points are to me, but Kieran gets a point for that one. By the way, if you've never shopped from us before, we are a shopping show, and you can buy this stuff, you know. All you've got to do is call 03333 241 241, 033 241 241, or you can go online to, it's over there, I can't quite reach it because I've got these storage boxes in the way. You can go to shopontv.co.uk. In all seriousness, I don't actually know many people who I've worked with in the past who don't have these. Charlie, Kieran, you have these, don't you? Yeah, so the director and the floor manager, they sleep on these. Gemma, do you sleep on a Morel or on a GX? She's trying to get hold of one. Almost everyone I know, there are only two pillows that I recommend actually. There's the one I use, which isn't this one, admittedly, and I'm being honest, quite, full disclosure, I've never slept on a Morel pillow. But I do know a lot of people who have. Sean and Hayley, these are the pillows that they use. Just about everybody that I've worked with in the last 5 years sleeps on a GX pillow. They are really, really, really good. And for $34.95, here's the thing, right? Here's the truth. You're going to throw the pillows you got away pretty soon, I think, unless it's one of the pillows that I use. And if you know what that is, then you'll have that for 30 years probably. But if it's a regular man-made fibre or hollow fibre pillow, or even if it's a luxury feather pillow or goose down, that kind of thing, they're not effective, because every pillow that's ever been made, really since the dawn of pillows, is a sack with a filling in it and nothing else. And so in order to get support, what people have tried to do is put extra filling. into a pillow, and then it just becomes hard and it's not comfortable. So you sacrifice comfort for support. Or if you go with the luxury of the down, or all these other luxury fillings that have been put inside pillows, then you don't have the support. So you sacrifice the support for the luxury, right? There are only 2 pillows I know that have dynamic support built in and also comfort, that are 2 completely separate technologies, if you want to call them that, working in concert together in harmony to give you a better night's sleep. There was a third, which they don't make anymore, and it was an inflatable insert that went inside a pillow, so you could adjust it to the firmness you wanted. That built an empire, that pillow did, which sadly is no more, or at least not in its current or its previous form. But they don't make those anymore, and they were great. I got one of those for my mum. So of the 2 pillows that I recommend, obviously I'm not going to say what the other one is right now, because I'm asked to show this, and it would be unfair to Morel, and I would do the same the other way around. But I know probably, let me just count. Gosh, it's got to be, what would you say, Kieran, for all the people at that previous channel we worked at, it's got to be 50, 100 people that we know that sleep on these? At least, would you say, Charlie? At least it's got to be 100 people, if not more. Well, there were 600 people in the company, and on the broadcasting side, probably a couple of hundred, and most people slept on this or the other pillow. So the point I was going to make is that with hollow fibre pillows, they don't have the support, but also you sweat into them. They don't have necessarily the breathability of this. They get floppy, whereas this, look, I can hold this erect in one hand, and there is no flop. Try doing that with a hollow fibre, and it doesn't matter how many times you sleep on this. And or lean against it. Maybe you're sitting up in bed, reading or watching telly, or I don't know, doing something else, checking your messages. Maybe you're pregnant. Maybe you have a back injury, and your specialist, your medical specialist, has suggested that you sit up with a good pillow behind you. This gives you active support, but at the same time, it gives you the comfort as well, and the breathability to help keep your head cooler, and to help reduce the sort of the sweating and what have you, which in the summer we all get a sweaty head, don't we? You don't want a sweaty head. No, you want a nice cool head. Always keep a cool head. That's what I say. So the rubbish pillows you've got right now, because frankly, if you haven't got one of the 2 pillows, this one or the other one that I'll tell you about some other time, I don't think you've got an effective pillow. They did make for a while, and probably still do make actually, what do they call them, memory foam pillows. But memory foam pillows, there was an interesting study done. Now, I can't really, please don't quote me on this as fact, because it's a story I'm telling you anecdotally, and I don't remember the exact facts that were quoted, or even how sort of scientific the study was. But it was basically saying that because with a memory foam pillow, they're only made in one size, whereas human beings are not only made in one size, apparently. But apparently also that meant that the height of the pillow, that only matched something like 60% of the population. So if you weren't in that 60% of the population where that was the right height for your pillow, it was either too shallow or it was too tall, and that pillow was no good for you. Plus also, there was that big rage about memory foam, and then people started to realise it degrades potentially. It depends what you bought. The older stuff, I believe, used to degrade over time, and sag and such, and lose its viscosity. But sorry, what was the other one? What's the next one, Kieran? Oh right. Oh sorry. I was given something. I didn't even realise that was a thing. Okay, and so. What was I saying? So it loses its viscosity, but also people discovered after everybody rushed out to buy those mattresses and pillows that they get hot. That memory foam gets hot. So there are lots of new memory foams that have come out since that don't. But the point I'm trying to make is that I can't think of another pillow that is as effective. And I know that with the cheapy pillows you buy from the supermarket, where you get like 4 for 20 quid kind of thing, you probably have to use all 4 just to get anything like the sort of support that you need. And then they curl around your face, and it's just awful. If you've not ever slept on one of these or one of these pillows, I would be I would be confident in saying that you don't actually know what it's like to have a good night's sleep with a proper pillow. So you're going to eventually chuck the pillows you've got away anyway, and you'll go out and buy some fresh ones. If nothing else because they'll have soaked up with sweat, and they'll be all nasty and icky and all floppy and half the size. And by the way, after a certain period of time, particularly with man-made fibres, a huge, well, can I say huge? A substantial amount of the weight of the pillow after a few months is actually, it's dust mites and their droppings and things like that. So you're going to toss them anyway. So for $34.95, get these now. You get two. And worst case scenario, you've got a pillow that's as rubbish as the one you've already got. Best case scenario, everything I've just told you because of the suspension on this will give you the best night's sleep that you potentially ever had with your pillow. And then you'll have discovered a new marvel, won't you? And this is the time to say no to a bad night's sleep. This is the time to say yes to a good night's sleep. This is the time to rebel. This is the time to stand up for your rights. This is the time to rage against the machine of sleeping poorly. And with the Morel, I guarantee you victory. Now, Danielle and Andrew have just emailed in. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Andrew. They're having twins. I'm assuming probably more Danielle than Andrew. Can I just say, when it comes to giving birth to twins, ouch. That's a core. Can you imagine? I'm looking at Charlie. I don't know why I'm looking at Charlie. But you do one and you go, oh my God, thank God that's over. And then it's like, oh, there's another one. Wow. That I salute you. I tell you what, my producer, she's always on it. She said they're probably going to need a lot of storage with all of their, with both of their twins. Anyway, get the pillow. They're blooming good. All right. Congratulations, sincere congratulations. Do you know that one of the greatest things, in fact, I would even go so far as to say it's the only good thing that I've ever done in my life, and that is to have a child. I know I didn't actually bear it, or him, but I did raise it. And it works here now. No, I'm super proud to be a parent. I've always wanted to be a dad. I've never quite mastered the being a husband part, but I've done half the job. And it's not too late to do the other half. And I've just been tar. They're just saying I did all right as a dad because my son's a good kid. 21 in a couple of weeks he is. Can you believe that? 21. David, our floor manager Dave, as we like to call him. No, he is a good lad. So now, here we have something that looks like a storage box, acts like a storage box, and works like a storage box. But well, it is a storage box, but it does clever stuff. So apart from the fact that these are 66 litres, which will hold a lot of stuff, I mean, I'd say almost as much as 66 litres. They are stackable. Basically 4 is your limit before the weight is too great, but you can safely stack 4 of them on top of each other. I think it's 40 kilos, isn't it? I believe it's 40 kilos that each box will support. And this is the great thing about these, that they have many, many, many features that are different from a regular box, and certainly from a cardboard box. First of all, they're made from a very, very strong Oxford type fabric. Charlie, can I ask you a small favour? Could I have a glass of demo water, please? And is it okay if I dribble on the carpet? Maybe. Or maybe if we've got a bowl and a, thank you. We're going to do a little bespoke demonstration of just how water resistant this is. Charlie knows where I'm going. So they are very, very tough fabric that is not only water resistant but also very hard to tear. But there's more, because you'll notice that there is a zip on the top. Now, these are not any old zip. These are industrial quality zips. So instead of those zips that kind of catch or come off their runner and all of that. Forget all of that. That's not going to happen with, or it shouldn't happen with these, because they are industrial grade. But there's also a zip on the front as well, because if you stack these up, two things happen under normal circumstances. A, you can't see what's in the box, and also, if you want some and you know what's in the box, you can't get to it unless you take the other boxes off the top. With this, you have a viewing window in the side, in case you are stacking them that way. Or, that wasn't even my Hagrid, that was more Cornwall than West Country. They're saying I'd make a great Hagrid. I really do, honestly, in all earnest, hope that I get that role. I don't know, I can't think of another British actor who looks as much like Robbie Coltrane as I do. Can anyone else? We're in talks, but it's early days. They've narrowed, we're talking about the Harry Potter series, TV series, which is going to be, each book is going to be one season of the show, and it's probably next year it will start shooting. So they haven't started casting yet that I'm aware of, but they were hiring the writer, the showrunner, what's called the showrunner, the person that is in charge of the writers and the show. Obviously, showrunner, they run the show. And they narrowed it down to 3 people, 3 finalists, and I'm told, I believe April they'll know, or no, it was April or maybe even June, they'll have made the decision as to who that is, and then after that they should start casting. So I am in contact with the producer, or the executive producer of those films, so I'm hoping, and he is aware of my interest, but at that time there was an actor strike going on, and it was just they hadn't even hired a writer, and it was early days. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I'm a professional actor, and I'd love to play that role. I'm an enormous Harry Potter film, and everyone that sees me says, "Oh my God, you'd be perfect as the next Hagrid, Charlie." Charlie, you're a big Harry Potter fan, aren't you? And you agree, don't you? Yeah, she does. She has to say that because we're paying her, but admittedly. But I'd like to think that that's her personal opinion as well. Charlie, should we do a little demo? Feel free to come over, my lovely. If you haven't met Charlie before, this is Charlie. She doesn't have a microphone on, but she could also project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it like this. We'll wait for our director to tell us when the cameras are suitably positioned. That's Kieran, soon to be Charlie's husband. God, you're brave.
I know.
Are we ready? I love the fact all I can see is an arm holding a glass of water. Oh, do you want to pour it? Or shall I pour it?
I don't mind.
Oh, okay. I can't quite reach. Well, do you want to hold the box there? Well, you can go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and pour. So we're pouring the water over the material. Go for it, love. Look, see? Look at that. It's hydrophobic. It hates water. Perfect. Thank you. Little shimmy. And it's virtually dry. That is the correct. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that demonstration. It is quite literally afraid of water, or it repels water. So this is wonderful if you're storing things that you don't want to get wet. You can put these up in the attic. You can put them down in the cellar if you've got one, or the basement, where it might be a little damp. This is perfect for storing, obviously, winter clothes or summer clothes, depending on what time of year it is, coats and the likes. Maybe if you are still you have a household where you have winter bedding or summer bedding. Although we have a solution to that. If you ever see the Mulberry Silk show, get a Mulberry Silk over, then you won't have to do that anymore. That was the other pillow, by the way. So they hold a huge amount, but it's not just for garments. It could be toys. It could be kids' toys. Maybe you're a crafter and you can keep all of your things organised, all your bits and bobs and your sparkles, and you can keep that. Or a painter. Maybe you're a hairdresser, a mobile hairdresser. You can put all your stuff in these and transport them around. They've got carry handles both sides. If you are a pet owner, this will be great for all your pet things. If you're a student, or if you have someone in the family who is a student, this is the trick inside. They have a collapsible metal cage. So when you're not using them, you can collapse them down. And when you need them, you can very quickly erect them, and they are there for your general use. Great for deliveries, for transporting things around. Maybe you're taking stuff to somebody in which case you can take it full, and then when it's empty, you can collapse it down and bring it back empty. I'm now basically describing how you deliver things. I think people are aware. I'll shut up. But you get the idea. Picnics. These would be great for picnics as a big hamper. Anything you need to either temporarily or even long-term store things in. I really do think, and Gemma, our producer, of course, her default was she went straight to shoes. But I do agree with her because closets are a waste of space, aren't they? Unless you have fitted closets. Because often, if you keep your shoes in shoe boxes, A, you can't see what's where, but also they break, and you pull one shoebox out from the bottom, and then you've got to try and, I don't know, slot it back in, or it doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. The whole point of this is you can see through the window at the front exactly what's where. But also the point I was going to make mostly about closet space is that it's a waste of space. For example, I being a man and identifying as a man and a legend. No, people say I'm a legend, but that's because I'm old and mostly forgotten. A leg end, apparently. That's what I am. But so my clothes are the tallest of my clothing is going to be a jacket. I don't even have a long winter coat, so they're all sort of roughly jacket length. And then I've got all this space underneath down to the floor, and because I'm in an apartment or a flat, I am really, really struggling to find storage space. I don't have a lot of storage space. And so anything that is wasted space, and likewise, you know, on the shelf, I have a shelf just above the rail that my clothes hang from. And then above that, there's probably another 4 feet up to the ceiling. And so these are an absolute godsend because you can use all of that, you can reclaim unused space, storage space, purely by stacking. But it was never convenient before with regular boxes because you couldn't see what was in the boxes, and if it was, you couldn't access those boxes unless you pulled out all the ones off the top to get to the ones underneath. This solves that problem. You can stack up to 4, and you can access from the top and you can access from the front, and if you are storing them sideways, then you've got access to the front, but there's also, oops, wrong way, there is also a window on the side as well, so you can see exactly what it is that you're getting to. And once again, they're made of this, the what? Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me, folks, just talk amongst yourselves for a moment. That's the name of a band. That sounds like a surgical, something you have inserted. Say it again. He asked me to say Lacuna Coil, which I just did. See what I did there? I just keep thinking of, I've got to change my Lacuna Coil. I said maybe it's something that could be in a machine. Oh yeah, so I can see what's wrong there. It's your Lacuna Coil. Yeah, they do tend to break after a few months. Apparently that's a band. I'm not familiar with them, so my apologies, Lacuna Coil. So these are great. Oh, by the way, did I mention you get 3 of these for £34.95? I didn't realise. Apparently, the word game tonight has turned into just bands, but I don't really. I thought it was going to be really tricky dictionary words, but apparently not. We can do tricky dictionary words as well. Apparently, have we had any emails, Gemma? Or does nobody love me tonight? Ruben's bought some pillows. Ruben, very, very seriously, honestly, hand on heart, smart decision. They are very good. Who wants to say that? Joseph wants me to say it, or is he saying it to me? He wants me to say to Joseph, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. There you go, done. See, I'll say anything, me. We're here to entertain the nation. I mean, it's just me sitting in a chair, but I got look. I got the comfort. I got the Valduna. Was it Val? No, he had a high stool, didn't he? I got the comfy chair tonight. So yeah, if you want to say hi, if you've got a birthday, and you'd like birthday wishes, or if you would like me to send a message to any of your friends or indeed enemies, I will happily do so over the airwaves. All you have to do is email studio@shopontv.co.uk, or tell us an interesting fact, or tell us a boring fact, tell us a great joke, tell us a bad joke. ask me a question, and I will endeavour to answer it. Or just buy the products. You can do that as well. They're really good too. And that's my job, to sit here and talk about the products. And that's precisely what I'm going to focus on 100% without fail. $34.95 for your storage boxes. 524699 is the item number. And by the way, if you're shopping online, which is always a good idea, what you can do is you can take the item number from the top, and you can, at any given time, you can put it into the search bar. I'll show you, shall I? Here's the website. So here comes the website any second now on the screen. Lickety-split, toot sweet. It's on its way. It'll be here momentarily. Just chugging. It's chugging along, ready and raring to make its appearance on the screen. And there it is. So if you take the item number 524699 and hit enter, it takes you straight to the product. You see? Look. So that's a quick way. So some people do keep a little book or a little note on their phone of the different item numbers of a wish list, if you will, of things they want to buy. Now, the other thing you can do, of course, is you can call 0333241241. Now, if this is agrid? Now, if you call 0333241241 and you talk to a customer service representative, they'll take your order. And you can give them 524699. And that's how you order here at ShopOnTV, the shopping show on your telly. See? Yes, so, do you know what? I've just said it, but I feel reinforcing it would be advantageous to all. So here's a little video about how to order.
There are 3 convenient ways to place your order with ShopOnTV. Just scan the QR code with your smartphone's camera app to view the current on-screen item. Or go directly to our website, shopontv.co.uk, where you'll find all the products in today's show. Simply add the items you want to buy to your online shopping basket and check out. Prefer ordering by phone? Give our UK-based customer service centre a call on 03333 241 241. Friendly representatives are available to assist you 24 hours a day. Straightforward shopping with ShopOnTV. After you've ordered from ShopOnTV, we aim to deliver your purchases as quickly as possible. Postage and packing charges cover standard UK delivery, which is normally 3 to 5 working days, though depending on the carrier, you could receive your products sooner. Certain items may be offered with expedited delivery for a nominal extra charge. We'll give you a delivery estimate every time you place an order. Not going to be home or prefer to have your packages arrive at a different address? No problem. Just enter the destination information when you check out. Once you pay, it's on the way from ShopOnTV.
Once you pay, it is on the way. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Добрый вечер, мои хорошие, мои мужчики. That was Russian, just for those that weren't familiar. And nobody knew I was doing the word game there because I was given a Russian word to sneak in. Но я говорю по-русски. Я Роблок с я говорю по-русски, потому что я изучал русский язык в школе 20 лет назад, и потом я жил в Москве в течение 2 лет, и поэтому я свободно говорил по-русски. Но теперь я забываю много слов. Oh, sorry, I'm being interrupted. So apparently no one can understand a word I'm saying. No. Go on, Gemma, what's that? Do I know what the Mandarin word for penguin actually translates to? I don't, funnily enough. Business goose. Does it really? Business goose. Wow, there's an interesting fact. The Mandarin word for penguin actually translates to business goose. Now, where in all of your worldly thoughts could you have imagined for a second that by being awake and tuning into ITV1 or STV, at what time is it? 2:30 roughly, I would imagine, in the morning, 2:15, that you would learn that interesting factoid? I would love some more. If anyone is watching indeed tonight, it could just be me, myself, and the crew. But if anyone's out there, I'd love if you've got any fascinating facts, I would love to hear them, because when I go to parties, I can tell people, and it's always a lot of fun. And I'm always the life and soul of the party with these little facts, you see. People, they shake their heads and they laugh. Now, Kieran is telling me what was the largest man-made structure before, the tallest man-made structure before the Eiffel Tower. Was it one of the pyramids? Over 5,000 years before yeah. So the pyramids were the tallest man-made structures for a long time. I knew that. Anyway, no, that makes sense, because they are quite tall and they're quite old, aren't they? I have some questions of my own, actually. By the way, this is the morale pillar. Oh, no, it's not. We've got we've got hooks on the... We've got hooks. Oh, that's right. We were going to do hooks, weren't we? My question... Here are some questions. Why is abbreviation such a long word? Why does monosyllabic have so many syllables? Why is dyslexic such a hard word to pronounce and spell? And is there another word for thesaurus? These are questions I'd like to know the answer to. Now, did you just suddenly think to yourself, you know what, Rob, that's all very well. We love hearing facts, and we love rhetorical questions that have no specific answer. And we love your pillows, Rob. I've got to say, you've got a handsome set of pillows there, you have. And as for your steam mop, well, frankly, that don't even bear thinking about. I love that steam mop; it's perfect. But I'm in dire need of a hook. Well, if you too at this time of day are in a dire need for a hook, we have the handy solution for you. Not just one hook, 20 hooks. for all your hooking needs. That came out wrong. I suppose they could be for hooking needs. I don't know how you'd use them, or hanging needs, but maybe that's how you would use them. But no, look, let's be serious now. Come on. These are reusable. They don't actually have adhesive on the back. They have micro somethings, micro tentacles, micro things, micro fingers. They basically adhere to the cracks, the imperfections in the surface of the wall or the glass or whatever it happens to be. So if they get dirty, you can just wash them and reuse them over and over and over again. And they hold up to 4 kilograms. They are very, very, very strong. But because of their temporary nature, you can put them somewhere that you might need them now, but may not need them later. And hence they can be removed. So I'm thinking Christmas decorations. Oh, jinx, 1, 2, 3. My director just said the same thing at the same time. Christmas decorations. I remember when I go back to Christmas in the Locke household, one of the things my mother always used to do every year, she would get picture hooks and she would nail them into either the picture rail or indeed the wall, and she would take a long length of string, and she would tie the length of string across the wall, and she would put Christmas cards. She would hang the Christmas cards over that length of string, which I always used to think was really, really a total waste of time. No, it was really nice. But the fact is, there were always little holes in the wall, or there were actually, I think what ended up happening is the hooks just stayed there, and they were unsightly for basically 11 months and 29 days of the year. So that solution is now handily solved by using the handy hooks. What about now Gemma, for example? Gemma, you'd have to see to believe. She's a handsome lass, and she is a fashionista. And now, handsome or other makes no difference. She is really a fashionista. She's a fashion hoarder, apparently, a fashion hoarder. I think she said hoarder, right? Yeah. And she's forever buying jewellery. She can't. We work in Covent Garden. I don't think she's actually paid any of her bills since she's worked here, because she walks past about 18 different jewellery and clothing shops between the station and the studios. And I think by the time she's got here, her wallet is empty. But so she always buys these handy hooks, because as her collection of fashion items, be it clothes, jewellery, wigs, belts, general accoutrements, hair extensions, tanning supplies, nails, voodoo dolls. No. She always has somewhere to hang them. And then if she has if she has a yard sale or a car boot sale. Oh, apparently, well, she's just telling me. I was going to say she can obviously, as things don't get, if they go, then she can take the hooks off or just replace them with something new. But what she does, she hangs them on the inside of her wardrobe. So again, it's reclaiming wardrobe space, isn't it? It's using space that otherwise was being used by nobody, for no good, for nothing. So. Here's the thing, if you're like me, you're in rented accommodation, because I think I'm too old, probably too old to get a mortgage now, but also I travel a lot. No, I'm not. Oh, okay, that's good to know. But the hanging pictures, these are strong enough because they hold, and I don't actually have a pack to hold. I know it's when I'm sitting here with a pillow and talking about hooks, but quite literally, 4 kilos, you could hang a Rembrandt from one of those, and they're waterproof and all. Also, what do you do if in your shower, as this happened to me when I worked at the last channel I worked for during lockdown, and I got so fed up with, well, it was after lockdown, and the hotels, I used to stay in the hotels, and I think I probably spent more money at Travelodge than anyone has in the history since the company's been around. But they started to get really expensive, and they were beyond my budget because it was coming out of my own pocket. So I did rent a room from one of the lovely models, actually, that used to work at the channel. And in the shower, gorgeous brand new house with a gorgeous brand new shower, you know, the rainforest shower, or whatever they call it, and then the other one that the jets sort of hit you from, the waterfall shower. Got a lovely shower, but it didn't have any little baskety things in it to store your shampoos and your body washes and the likes. So what I ended up doing was going to Amazon, and I bought a little metal basket that has suckers on it that stuck it to the wall, and they're not very good. They always fall off. The times that I had a bottle of shampoo almost break my toes because of that. So because they didn't hold the weight, and they weren't. I assume they were supposed to be waterproof, but they weren't very effective. These are. So these are great. You could hang a little something from them to put your shampoo in, or your toothbrush, or your toothpaste, or whatever. I always keep my toothbrush and toothpaste in the shower because I generally brush my teeth in the shower, but that's just me. $18.99 gets you a set of 20, and they are really incredibly useful. And even if you don't need them right now, I bet there are times when I wish I had something to hang that on. Then if you've got a pack in your drawer, great if you go out and buy new kitchen utensils and things like that, then you always have a handy storage solution for £18.99. Give us a call, shopontv.co.uk. Also, by the way, the pillows, while I have them, you can sleep easy tonight when you buy a Mirelle twin pack of suspension pillows. £34.95 gets you 2 pillows. Again, you have 2 options, either medium soft or medium firm. The way that we always describe this is if you like a slightly firmer pillow, go for the medium firm, and if you like the slightly softer pillow, then go for the medium soft. It really is as simple as that. You know what I mean? It ain't rocket science. And I'm talking the truth. I never speak drivel, unless I am paid to. So some might argue that's what I'm doing now. I don't know. That's entirely up to you to decide. And this Do you know what I love about having a pillow, a comfortable pillow that I like to sit up in bed and watch movies? And my favourite, of course, is Back to the Future. McFly! McFly! I watch those films probably once a year at least. I have very weird rituals that surround films. I'm one of these people that I can't sit and watch a film unless I have a drink beside me and something to snack on. And my favourite thing of all time is to get a takeaway, and I eat my takeaway because I've got these reclining couch. I take films very seriously because I'm in the biz, you know, and so it's an experience for me. The whole thing, I savour it, and I make it an experience. And sometimes while I'm enjoying this moment of peace and tranquility, and when I get lost in the film, my son comes in and says, "Dad, put your clothes on," and I'm totally busted. So I do, and then remember next time to check whether he's home. No, just for the record, I do watch television with clothes on most of the time, unless I've got a friend around. No, I'm just kidding. And that's the great thing when you do have a friend round. You've got a spare pillow, you've got an extra pillow, you see. 2 pillows. 2 for the price, probably of 1 really, I don't know. This is how they work. Remember, they are special. They're special because they have this suspension system built into them which keeps your head aloft. It keeps your head supported. It keeps your neck and spine correctly aligned. It also means it can actually, I've been told these can help reduce snoring because, again, your esophagus is correctly aligned, whereas if your head is not properly supported, well, now, again, we can't guarantee that. That may be a side benefit, but certainly correct alignment of your throat and all of the aligning tubes, I can only imagine is a good thing, right? Yes. And that's what these do. And they were born out of necessity. It was an injury actually that gave or brought, I was going to say not gave birth to, but brought these into being because the inventor, his daughter, was in a very bad car accident. She was knocked over by a car and literally had a year to recover, and being bedbound for a year, literally not even able to get up and go to the toilet on her own. She, you know, her dad was fraught, obviously for numerous reasons, and asked if there was anything that he could do to help. And she, you know, acknowledging her terror, saw an opportunity to create something that would help. And so, because all she asked for was, can you just find me a pillow that's comfortable? So he literally bought her every pillow that money could buy, from the really, really cheap to the really, really expensive. I think he spent over £100 for one in Harrods. Every kind of filling you can possibly imagine, and nothing, absolutely nothing worked. And so he thought, well, I've got to figure something out here. So he essentially opened up these pillows to see what they were made of and how they worked, and he discovered that pillows have been the same pretty much since, as I mentioned earlier, since day one. They're a sack with some filling in them. And he was walking home one day, and this is an absolutely true story. He was walking home one day and noticed the lintel on a building and had that light bulb moment and thought, well, hang on, this is the problem. Pillows are trying to use the filling for both suspension or support and comfort, but it doesn't work because they don't. If you put too much filling to get the support, you don't get the comfort. If you have too little or too soft a filling, you get the comfort, but you don't get the support. So he thought, well, I mean, suspension technology, from the lintel, from suspension bridges, again, used in engineering for hundreds of years. And he set about putting that same structure inside the pillows. And that's what he did. And what he created was the GX pillow. And because his daughter's name was Georgia, and she always used to sign G with a kiss, and that's where GX came from. And Morel is the GX pillow, except the Morel brand is exclusive to ShopOnTV, and it has an upgraded cover, which is a polycotton or a polycotton that is breathable. So that's the difference, okay? 385-857 gets you 2, and they really are superb. So forget the terror, don your head on a morel pillow, and you will find that a wonderful night's sleep may follow. Now, here is something, sorry, let me do this in perfect Monty Python. I watched a really fun film last night called Absolutely and Everything with Simon Pegg. And I realised as I was watching the opening credits that I know the bloke who wrote it. So it was co-written by Terry Jones and a guy called Gavin Scott. And I remember Gavin, who is a fellow actor in when we were in Los Angeles. I don't know if I ever mentioned I used to live in America and in LA. And Gavin, who used to be, I think he was a BBC broadcaster or reporter for many years, and then he moved to LA to pursue his love of acting. But he's also a phenomenal writer, and I remember him telling me about this project he was developing and how it was getting traction, and I finally got to see the film. It's utterly ridiculous, but it was so much fun. And because Terry Jones co-wrote it, they had these aliens that are like an alien council that are deciding the fate of the Earth. And they got the band back together. They got the Pythons back together, those that are still with us, obviously, and they did all the voices of these animated aliens, and it was So it got me thinking of Python. Absolutely everything. It's a quick, like 90-minute or 87-minute film. Utterly ridiculous, but a huge amount of fun. And Simon Pegg is always worth the price of admission, if you ask me. But in finest Python form, and now for something completely different. That was all of that, just to basically say that. Anyway, right, pay attention, 007. Oh, actually, now what is the tie-in there between Monty Python and James Bond? John Cleese was the last Q. Before, of course, it was all. Do you know? Oh no! Now you're going to get me started on movie trivia. Pierce Brosnan wanted to carry on. And John Cleese also. I mean, they really recast everything to continue, and then can't think of it. Is it it's Broccoli? So is it Barbara Broccoli? Sorry, forgot her name for a minute. She decided she wanted to do a complete reset and a complete reboot and go back to films that were much more sort of the nitty-gritty of the books, because Bond was always tall, dark and handsome, and whenever he walked into a room, heads would turn, male or female. Everybody, wanted to get a bit of him, so to speak. So quite how Daniel Craig came in with his blonde hair, I don't know. But they certainly were he was an amazing Bond, he really was. They certainly did a much more sort of grounded and believable and hard version of Bond. But interesting little fact: Casino Royale. Shortly after Brosnan had departed, there was a very famous film director who bought the screenplay for Casino Royale, and being a director, he devised the whole black and white opening. And then when Barbara Broccoli did the reboot, she reclaimed the rights from him, and so he wasn't involved as the director anymore. But the black and white opening, they liked it so much they kept it. And let me ask Kieran this, because he's a movie buff too. Do you know who that director was? He doesn't. Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. So anyway, what's this? Sorry, do excuse me. So Ben, was it Ben? Thank you, Ben, has just sent in an interesting fact. Apparently, that we don't know if we can't confirm or deny the veracity of this, but he says apparently you produce between 1/2 litre and 1.5 litres of saliva every day. I could believe that. Yeah, I've got a decent load in my mouth at the moment. No, if everyone just feel the saliva in your mouth, and I think I could see that being true. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. That's the sort of stuff I could go. Hey, darling. Do you know? Do you know that you produce between 1/2 litre and 1.5 litres of saliva in your mouth every day? Want to try some of mine? No. And you wonder why I'm single. Actually, you probably don't. Now. This is a steam. No, I know why I'm single, because I wouldn't I wouldn't wish me on my worst enemy. I would pity anyone who would even think about putting up with me. You think, I mean, you only have to put up with this for 3 hours. I have to live with it. This is 651541. Can we roll the video, please, Maestro? Apparently knows the answer to that. Okay, good. Oh, no, we can. Lovely. Excellent. Because I was about to do a dirty protest. Well, by which I mean I was going to protest by cleaning up the dirt on the floors. But I'll be feeling really, really bad about it, obviously. This is the HomeTech Optimus 3 modular steam cleaning system. It runs off of plain water and it heats that water up to over 100, well, about 120 degrees actually, of super hot dry heated steam. And that steam, of course, is no match, or I should say the germs and the dirt on the floors and surfaces are no match for that steam. Certainly 99.9% of viruses, bacteria, germs, etc. are almost instantaneously killed. And remember earlier, if you were watching, if you weren't, if you just tuned in, we got a bottle of a very famous multi-surface disinfecting cleaner that on the front says kills up to 99.9% of germs and coronavirus. And we read the instructions on the back. It's very good at what it does, but what did it say in the instructions? Spray, and it, you know, obviously, yeah, you spray it on, and then leave it for up to 5 minutes. Have you ever sprayed anything, any cleaner you've ever bought, and left it there for 5 minutes before you wiped it off? No. So in other words, what happened? You didn't kill the germs, did you? No. So you've just been piddling with poultry, and poultry, we know, is often rife with things like salmonella, and that's why preparation is urged. Very careful preparation of chicken and poultry is urged. And, you know, make sure you wash your hands and sanitize your surfaces. So you go spray this disinfecting, and it was a bleach brand, onto your kitchen worktop, thinking that it's killing all of those nasties after you wipe it 10 seconds later. No, up to 5 minutes. And again, I'm not saying those are bad things, though. In fact, actually, if this gives you awareness, even if you don't buy this mop, please, for heaven's sake, read the instructions on your bottles so you know how long you have to leave the solutions in order for them to be effective. And I didn't know that. And when it was pointed out to me, I was like, you're kidding. So I've wasted thousands of pounds on products over my lifetime that I've not used correctly. And also, they haven't been doing the job properly because I haven't been using them properly. Got to use them properly for them to do the right job, okay? So honestly, the other one is antibacterial wipes. They're often, you know, you'll do your whole kitchen counter with them. They only work over a relatively small surface area, and you have to wipe, again, for a couple of minutes, I believe. It depends on the brand, but check the instructions. Or, peace of mind, water goes in here, gets sucked through a filter that takes out the lime scale, that's replaceable, basically goes down the pipe into the boiler, and the boiler is in the head. This is the genius of this product. It's the only one that's got the boiler in the head because it's patented, right? And then you press the handle. Well, it probably helps if you turn it on. Oh, no, it is on. You press the handle. That's the pump taking the water down. It's gone green at the end, takes about 20 seconds, right? And now you have, if I can show you, see that? Super heated dry steam coming out of your bottom. Well, the bottom of, you know what I mean. And it literally makes mincemeat of just about any dirt that it can encounter. Stains, bodily fluids we get asked about a lot, fats, greases, etc. Wax even. You can use this as a wallpaper stripper, and in fact the rectangular version is probably the way to go if you are going to be stripping any wallpaper. Don't go hire a wallpaper stripper. Use the rectangular head that you get included in this kit without any of the microfiber cloths on it, and it will go through 6 or 7 layers of wallpaper, I'm told. Really. Now, note 2 things. Number 1, I've just gone over that whole floor surface, and in a real world scenario, now if you've been watching the whole show, you know I've already cleaned this, and Charlie, our floor manager, has redirted it with a fatty spray to emulate, you know, kitchen stains and things like that. But in a real world environment, let's say people have been walking all over this all day long, and it only takes about 7 steps when you walk into your home. It takes about 7 steps to walk the dirt off of the bottom of your shoes completely into your home. So you know, maybe you've been in a public toilet. Maybe you've been somewhere that's less than sanitary, and who knows what's on the ground when you walk through the street. All of that has come off your shoes, or a lot of it maybe, and gone all over your carpets. It's gone all over your kitchen floors, your bathroom floors and such. And how often do you mop? Probably not every day. You've got toddlers, you've got kids, you've got pets, and all those germs, you've been walking around, going about your day, building up on the floor. And little baby Chris or Christina are down there playing with their Legos or other type of building block toys that are available. And they're putting them in their mouths, and I was at, where was I? I was at Prague Airport a few weeks ago, and this toddler had a coin, and they were pushing it around the floor in the airport and walking on their hands and knees on an airport floor, pushing a coin around. And when their mum saw, and then basically putting their fingers in their mouths, and when their mum saw them, I mean, obviously they almost had a meltdown and rushed them to the toilet to clean their hands. But you know, this is the thing. I think a little bit of dirt is good for you. Let's face it, we have to build our immune systems, and certainly I think that probably that's conventional wisdom for kids. You know, you don't want them to be too clean, otherwise that, you know, they will never have an effective immune system. I don't know how much of that is fact. That's my own deduction. Don't quote me on it. But certainly, you want to take care of the dirt and the germs in your home, don't you? There are 3 settings. So there is eco mode. Now this is already clean. It's sanitized. I've killed 99.9% of germs on the floor. So if that, let's say, was tomorrow, and people have walked on it a bit, and I thought, well, you know what? I'll put it on eco mode. And it's not to clean it per se. It's just to refresh it. So I hold the handle, you can hear the water injected down the pipe. The green light will come on, the steam will start coming out. There it is. And I love the manoeuvrability of this head as well. As you can see, it just moves in all different angles. So I can get, see what I'm doing there? Just a little swivel, little pivot. There it is, like that. Now, in that time, in literally, 10 seconds, I have now disinfected and sanitized that floor. I've killed 99.9% of germs. And any dirt that was on the floor that goes on the microfiber mop, even though there is dirt there per se, and the microfiber mop is doing a good job of holding that dirt in, so it's not being spread around, it doesn't matter anyway, because the steam that's being pushed through that dirt, it's sanitized dirt, if that makes sense. And all you've got to do is you can put your foot on there like that, right? And then you can, oh, hang on, you could. Oh, blimey, it's my feet on, there we are. Or, well, you know what, you can just hold on to it and pull it off. Excuse me. It's, wait for it to cool down normally. You pull that off, you put it in the washing machine, 30 degrees, no, or in my case you give it to your floor manager, no fabric softener. You should never use fabric softener. Help! I didn't think that through, did I? Would you mind tossing it on the floor for me? Thank you.
Shall I get that?
Sure. Would you like? Thank you. Thank you so much. Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. Now then, pay attention. So, eco mode for a quick refresh. Then we can go to normal. Now, this is, you know, your spitter spatters. This is around your kitchen, the parts of your kitchen floor near the hob or the oven where, you know, things are doing a stir fry and you're getting bits of stuff spit out. And a general build-up of grime. So, again, wait for the what do you call it? Wait for the water to be injected down the nozzle. Off we go. Now, Chris has emailed in and says, or asks, can this be used on curtains? Absolutely. As I always joke, just make sure that you close the window first. Yeah, perfect for curtains. Not just your main curtains, but your net curtains as well. Because not only does steam sanitize and refresh, it deodorizes too. So if you've got a smoker in the family, or if you've got pets and pet smells, or if you do a lot of cooking and there are pungent smells that stick to your curtains and whatnot, this not only will clean them, but it will sanitize them and it will deodorize them too. So it will take away all the nastiness. It's also really, really good for sanitizing your mattress or your duvet or your pillow. Bear in mind that depending on the type of pillow and mattress and duvet you have, over time you get a build-up of dust mites and dust mite droppings and their dead carcasses as they expire. So it's really, really great to use the steam. To what steam does is, apart from killing the dust mites, it denatures their poo. And actually, it's the dust mites are not really, even though they're ugly so-and-sos, they're not really dangerous. Well, they're not dangerous to us, but it's their droppings that are the allergen. It's dust mite poo that makes you sneeze. So what steam does is it denatures the allergen, so it can also help alleviate allergies that are caused by dust mites. So I'm just going to show you. Now, if you get something really tough and stubborn, by the way, all you got to do, pluck it on, hold the handle, and just let the steam do its magic. Let it literally emulsify that fat, and then look, see, booyah, gone. Right? So, and it's just absolutely effortless. Which comic book character said booyah? Ooh, that's a good one. Sorry, my director was asking. Booyah. Ooh, I can hear it, but I can't picture it. Who was it? Oh, Cyborg, Teen Titans, of course. Yeah. And there it is. So now the other thing also is, not only have I cleaned this, but again, I have sanitized it. I've sanitized the tile. I've sanitized the grouting. I've sanitized my mind. No, I haven't. There is no amount of steam or cleaning product on God's given earth sufficient to sanitize what's up here. So done. But look, it does a good job. It don't just do a good job, it does a really good job. It don't just do a really good job, it does a blooming great job. It don't just do a blooming great job, it does the best job, I reckon. And have I spent any money on chemicals? Nah. Have I spent any money on electric? Yeah, a little bit, but only a tiny bit. Have I spent any money on water? Depends whether you're on a water meter. I am, so yeah, a teeny little bit. So minute amount of money for maximum effectiveness of your cleaning and making sure your surfaces are germ-free, up to 99.9%. You know why they say that, by the way? You know why they say up to 99.9%? No, don't worry, I did it earlier too. Up to 99.9%. This could very well kill 100%, but there's always that, they have to build in a margin of error just in case. That's why it's always 99.99% or sometimes the extra 9. So that's your triangular head. Now let me show you if I can do this slightly better and more elegantly than I did before. Stay. I'm going to walk this way. I don't know why, I just fancied it. Here we have the carpet. Now once again, you have your cord tidy on the back. Now I'd recommend that you use turbo for this. Now I wanted to show you before this gets hot. Here's your sort of trigger end, as it were, in your water tank. Again, the water goes in there, gets sucked up through the patented filtration system here. You'll know when the filters run out because they go dark, and you can get replacements from us. They're about 13, 14 quid. So here, there is a little button, right? Can you see this? So you push the button, and then you twist. Hold on, it's probably stiff. There we are. You twist, and then you can pull. You see? Now, actually, if I can show you the business end, if you like. And you can hold on. This is great. I feel like I'm like a robot or something. You will obey. So that's where the water comes through, and also the electricity is then passed down through the pole and into the head. Speaking of robots, apparently Kieran, my director, has got a fun fact about Transformers. Now, is it the 1984 movie where Orson Welles played Unicron, I mean, sorry. About Optimus Prime, okay. Voiced by Peter Cullen, who's always been the voice of Optimus Prime, yeah. Yeah. So I'm just bear with. Yeah. Do I know who he impersonated to get that job? Who? Orson Welles? No, who? His brother, who was a Royal Marine, and told him that when he went for the role of a hero, to be a character who is strong enough to be gentle. Ooh. Anyway, I like that. It's good. Yes, but Orson Welles. So I was in a play in Hollywood. I don't know if I mentioned I used to live in America, and so it was a play written by a very prolific sitcom writer. Actually, Married with Children was his big success, and he wrote an original play called A Hollywood Ending, which was about Orson Welles and a gentleman by the name of Scatman Crothers, who is the older gentleman in The Shining and also the voice of Hong Kong Phooey, incidentally. So it's an imaginary meeting between the two of them at an audition. Now, they would never have auditioned, but the last job that both of them did was voice work for Transformers the movie in 1985. And so Orson Welles played Omnicron. Is it Omnicron? Yes, I keep saying Omnicron, sorry. Unicron. I did the play as well, you'd think I'd remember. Called Unicron, you know, a planet-devouring creature of some kind. And Scatman played Jazz. And then Orson died shortly. In fact, he died technically before they'd finished the film, because they were a few extra lines they had to dub in, and he'd already expired by that point. And Scatman Crothers died about 6 months later of lung cancer. But so I played Orson Welles in this play, and it was a huge hit. And a lot of people who came, it was at the LA Fringe Festival, and a lot of people who knew Orson Welles and Scatman Crothers came to the play and were saying how it was like seeing them both brought back to life. And he then turned it into a full-length play, which I'm hoping will launch at some point. I really want to launch it in the West End. So I've actually inherited half the rights of it now, which is great. So maybe one day you will get to see it. But it's you know, Orson Welles, who peaked at 21, and then his career gradually went down and down to the point where he was borrowing money off of friends. In fact, there was a famous movie star, the name of which escapes me at the moment, who actually bought him a house because he was broke, and by the time he died. Whereas Scatman was, you know, a black actor back in the sort of working actor 70s and 80s and 90s. Making his way, married a white woman, which was really, you know, sort of taboo back in those days. And when he did The Shining, he gets hit over and over and over again at the end of The Shining. And that really happened to him, you know, this old man just getting thwacked for the sake of his art. Really extraordinary play, and if it ever does, I'll let you know if it ever does come to fruition, or if there are any people out there who want to back a West End play with Orson Welles and Scatman Crothers, then please let me know. But anyway, I really got sidetracked there, didn't I? You know what I love about Orson Welles? If he'd been here now, he would have gone, now that is a handsome carpet glider. And that's because this rectangular attachment, I'll just take it out of that shot, I didn't like that shot. This rectangular attachment has this little rim. And this little rim is called a carpet glider, which goes over the top, and that basically means, as I say, that when you go over the carpets, the microfiber cloth doesn't get wrinkled. And so there, have a nice little look at the rim. There it is. It's removable, just pull it off, see? And while we're there, I want to show you also that this is such a well-made device. If I pull that up, see the teeth, the quality of how this is all made. Be careful with your fingers when you put this down. That's how that holds that in place. Again, the boilers in here, ow, that's hot. All the heads have, because it's got a boiler in it, innit? It's hot, it's got a boiler. The Rob, honestly, twit. This is the hot end. Oh, it's hot. Right. This is the reason why some villages in this country are missing their idiots. Good, so, right, ready? Here we go. Put it on turbo, like that. Press the trigger. Just reminded me of Only Fools and Horses. This, I've had this broom for 20 years. Same broom. Here we are. 4 new heads, 3 new handles. So what this is going to do to your carpets, apart from obviously again sanitizing, deodorizing, so if you have had pets that have done their pee-pees or their poo-poos, or if you have children, maybe there's been some vomitus, maybe you've spilled something, not only is it going to help you to lift the stain out, but also have you noticed how it's reinvigorating the fibers? It's just refreshing the carpet. It didn't look that dirty, did it? No. Shall we find out just how dirty it is? Are you ready? Hey! Ho! Hey! That is what I believe they call in the trade stinks as well. They'll be cleaning up some real vomiters if I'm not careful. But the good thing is you can, as I say, you can take the pole out with unscrewing your 2 ends, put this bit on right the way up, butt it up into the handle. Now you've got a handheld version. Maybe we've got just enough time to show as a recap that video of this in action. Let me ask the director and see what he says. Director? Oh, director, do we have time to show that video of this in action one more time? I believe we do. How exciting. Oh, marvellous. Kieran's been very well behaved tonight. He hasn't cut me onto the wrong camera, or he... You see, a lot of people think it's me looking at the wrong camera, but it's actually I'm looking at the right camera, but it's the director who selected the wrong camera, you see. 651-541 is the item, and in all seriousness, I do have the best team to work with, I honestly do. I couldn't ask for a better job if I tried. Well, and I do try repeatedly. There's only one thing that would take me away from here, and that's an acting gig. By the way, I've got to figure it out. I finally, I don't know if I mentioned, am I an actor? Am I an actor? No, I guess I am. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I shot an episode of an American show called FBI International. So I finally found out the name of the channel that it airs on. It's called Sky Witness. Now, it airs in America on Tuesday. But I believe that Tuesday over here is where, or it's not even Tuesday, I think it's Saturday actually. I think it was today is when season 3 begins airing. So I'm in episode 6. So about 6 weeks from now, it will air on Sky Witness. It's an episode called Firestarter, episode number 6. So if you want to see me as a very nasty Czech cop, then that's the place to tune in and see. And if you want to have a good night's sleep, I recommend copious amounts of, I recommend a pillow, a good one. This is 651, not just one, this is 2. 651-541. £99.99 gets you 2 pillows. 03333241241 is the number to call to get one, or you can shop at ShopOnTV.co.uk. It has, as those pink ties, yours don't obviously come on the outside. Yours are on the inside and they're not pink, they're white. And that's the suspension system that keeps your head supported throughout the night. Now, can I just say, I'm actually off tomorrow. I'm having my first day off since Christmas Day. Doesn't even bear thinking about. I have a charity ball to attend, and so I'm going to be hopefully raising lots of money for charity. So I will see you again. It'll be Sean and Hayley tomorrow. I'll see you next Thursday for Sean and Hayley. Until then,